Morning, Daryl. I don't know what the hell's going on with my damn computer. It shut down on me again. I didn't even hit anything on this one. So, I guess the Grinch has been at my computer station or something yet. I don't know if it's lack of power or not. But it's still the 20th of December. It's still Wednesday. And it is 2:12 in the morning, West Coast time. I'm at a loss. I know the bug war is continuing over here in Roseman, California, in my complex of United Park Apartments. They're really infestating certain areas over here where management's not even able to do anything about these sons of bitches. You're fortunate you don't deal with a bug war. Uh, we were talking politics, and then the computer decided to take a nosedive on that one. The media pundits are still talking about the decision what Colorado made. I was trying to make a point concerning about what decisions or actually route the whole situation is going to be going to. SCOTUS is a conservative court at this point, but if they're going to be agreeing with the law, then Trump's got an issue. If they agree with Trump, then we've got an issue as people, and therefore, old gas bag will be put on the ballots. Now, just because Colorado had its issue doesn't mean the other states are going to have the same issue unless they're already going through their own contentious issues. Deadlines are coming up real fast concerning about filing. So there's people are going to have to make decisions on this one. As for the Hamas-Israeli war, what a freaking nightmare. Even if they happen to have a stay for a couple of days, it gives the people enough time to negotiate to see if the hostages are still alive and able to be sent back. I hope. Not in body bags either. I hope they're alive. This was an emotional roller coaster for the past few months on this one. Not just for the family, but for the whole world. And I was also trying to explain before the video kicked out about the Japanese Zen garden. You toss a rock into a pond, you see the effects, the causative effects are the same thing. Even though you had the instigator in it, it still causes and reverberates, much like our decisions in life. Yeah, I didn't take any philosophy on that one. I just learned the things or two in life right now as it is. And yeah, I focused more about a geologic event because it drove me nuts. I see Tommy Tuberville is back at it again, still causing his mischief. Senate's already confirms remaining other military promotions, which basically curtails Tuberville and his tantrums. So that's good. Tuberville didn't want the massive stuff because he wanted to protest about women having abortions or the military, the taxpayer paying for the abortions, or just to travel to get to places to take care of the abortions. Shit, give me a break. Trump in his mouth still talking about immigration. He still doesn't like immigrants. I swear, these people are dumber and dumber. Holiday season, he's got to toss out the rhetoric and hatred. The thing I can never understand about this holiday season concerning about what it's supposed to mean is what kind of hypocrites we all are. Holiday season is about family, about people spending time with each other, sharing time with each other. Being, well, thankful and grateful was basically November, but still the same thing. And yeah, if you're secular, you celebrate the secular holiday. And if you're not, you're not. But you celebrate the good feelings about the holiday season. Unless, of course, you're going to be thinking and feeling an opposite direction at this point. And you think Christianity is thinking about one particular level, and when you look at the secular text, it tells you about another level over here. Speaking of which, Shall we get into 12 step? Yeah, that review that you did a few videos back concerning about a recovery addict trying to get monetary compensation for his own misery in life and trying to tell people about his own story. Um, we're not supposed to be judgmental, and basically, you know, if I could say something about it, then I'm pushing myself into that situation there. But you're going to get pushback on that one. Much like you had the pushback regarding the Scientology stuff. I know Bo had said in his earlier videos that he got pushback regarding the Israeli-Hamas war. Anti anti-Semitic, not to mention Islamophobia. Yeah. And we're supposed to be in this kind of holiday season, supposed to be celebrating. Well, definitely not the back pillow, that's for sure. We're supposed to be celebrating goodwill towards men. So it's like, okay, we'll celebrate goodwill towards men. Where's my sledgehammer? It's not that I'm going to be crushing rocks, per se. And we're doing this in the name of love, peace, and humanity, while we're enforcing our will down people's throats one way or another because we are secular, and you have to be that way or else. As we use the Star Trek Borg mentality at this point. You're going to be assimilated into our thinking, our way of life, and everything else. Otherwise, and leave that open. Ain't that nice? So yeah, this morning's really starting out to be just another day at the holiday. It kind of sucks. Outside smells like rain. Almost feels like rain. I'm not quite sure if it had rained, but I'm smelling the wet cement outside. Typical California winter. Shall we talk about California a little bit? We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about the people. We're talking about science. We're talking about geography, meteorology. See, we don't get the heavy-duty storms unless, of course, we got a screwed-up weather pattern coming through, and El Nino is really giving us hell. All the moisture coming through and all the heat energy coming through. And we get these heavy-duty storms moving up Mexican coastline into the States, and then we get it off the coast coming through us, and then we get our asses kicked. But since we're in the wintertime at this point, we'll get the intense winter. We'll get the intense feeling of rain and stuff, because our particular heavy storm systems are not coming from the south. They're coming from Alaska. We got the cold river of cold energy coming through the waters down to the south, which means it hugs our coastline. We don't get strong hurricane forces, but we do get strong winds, especially if the pressure systems are just right, that they're forcing the winds through our canyons and our mountains area over here. Oh yeah, sometimes the winters do get a little crazy out here. We'll get flooding. We'll get snow and ice caps, but we'll get flooded out here in the Southlands. Aren't we fun? Oh yeah. So other than that, we'll get the snowy stuff on top of the mountainsides and the hills if necessary, if the temperatures drop down sufficiently enough and there's enough moisture coming through the storm systems that we'll get, hopefully, some snow activity, which means our ski resorts are going to be opening up and then having fun. As long as the conditions are right, even for artificial snow, they'll try to turn a tidy profit. But out here in the Antelope Valley, we'll get frozen a little bit, only if we didn't have that much moisture coming through. The one thing I can tell you about moisture, when we get the clouds coming in, they're an insulator. We'll get a slight variation of temperature. Not too cold, not too hot, just damp enough. So we'll get the winds coming in. We'll get the heavy storms coming in. And then the mountainsides and the upper elevations, they'll get the snow. We'll get snowed in mountain passes left and right. And then the beaches will get the rip-roaring currents out there to drive surfers and everybody else nuts who are going to the beach. Lovely things to look forward to in Southern California. Northern California, hell, they're getting rained out. Frisco gets drowned out like crazy. Central Valley gets drowned out, and the Sierra Nevadas get their snowpack. And it's from the snowpack that we get our liquid. Melted sufficiently enough that we may get some liquid to survive the next year. But if not that, well, then we're in for it. But because we've got two heavy storm systems here, they're saying before Christmas it'll be cleared out and will be sunny. And right now, just for right now, we got storm systems coming in. Most of the energy is up in Northern California. We'll get the tail end for the hooks. Low pressure sneaking in. Trying to do a southern slider, but still forcing the energy towards us. So we get something going on. We're just not going to get enough heavy-duty storm systems, but we'll get something going on. It's typical winter for us in California. You know, I had never experienced winter snow. Never have. I discovered one time or another about what it's like to have snow in the March when the cold systems are coming in, and then conditions were just right that the whole Antelope Valley got snowed under for about a few days. I know what a sore back and a tailbone feels like when you slip and fall on black ice. I know what back problem is constantly up to that is. I also know what it's like to have a snowball fight. First and only on the Antelope Valley. What the hell is this, dude? Oh, wait. Yeah, oh, wait. My brother and I had a day off. Well, actually, he was doing 24/7 on Ma. And I had a day off from Wally World cashiering. So on this particular day off, they said it was going to snow. I didn't believe them. Dave stays outside. We're living in the apartments out in Lancaster. Got a veranda. He's sitting on in a chair, just bundled up, watching things. I had a few shots of him on that one. And then we're seeing snow coming down. Okay. We got a few pieces of snow. It's cold enough. It looks like it's getting solidified enough. Before I knew it, my brother's trying to get me outside, and I get outside to the veranda, and I'm seeing this stuff. And then we have to be worried about outside because there are certain portions of it are icy. Yikes. But we get out into the area and walk the dogs. They don't like it as much. And then Dave and I had a wicked idea. The level of snow was mounting up on cars. My brother and I had looked at each other with a wicked glint in our eyes and thought, snowball fight! Our first and only ever as adults. We scraped up the ice off our car. We scraped up the ice from everyone else's car. Some of the people looking outside like, what are they doing to our... Oh, they're getting the ice off of it. And then we're packing it up and then tossing it at each other. No, we're not tossing. We're hitting each other with this damn stuff. We're beating each other upside the head over this damn stuff. And throughout the day, it was snowy, icy, and we could hear the crunch, crunch, crunch. Crunch. I kind of laugh at that one because it sounded funny, but it really wasn't, especially when you kept seeing people who didn't know how to drive in snow, actually in rain, sure as hell didn't know how to drive in snow. The snow chains were getting sold out left and right at the store at this point. We didn't realize we'd be using it for traveling the Antelope Valley. My brother and I had to put the chains on our car so we can drive very carefully through the snow. But everyone else has been trying to kill each other. I missed that thing. It's one of the better memories I had from him. So yeah, I miss having that kind of activity. I mean, rain is one thing. When I was living in San Fernando Valley for a hell of a long while, we had the rain coming in. We didn't have the snow unless it was really severely cold enough. It could hold ice and snow for a little bit, and then we'd see it. And then you hear the crunch, crunch, crunch. But even with the wet, you still hear the screech of the brakes and then crunch, crunch, crunch. So other than that, let's just hope that your particular holiday season won't be doing crunch, crunch, crunch. And hear the caterwauling and the constant wailing of the ambulances. Okay, I think I said enough before the computer system starts drop kicking this one at the next century here.